Did you know the number one regret of the dying is I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. That's why in this video, I'm going to share 7 reasons why you can't afford to stay stuck. Hey Mosaic Souls, this is Rachael Alexander, artist and Mosaic Soul mentor, aka spiritual teacher and transformational coach with flair. And today I want to talk about why you can't afford to stay stuck in your life, okay? So let's dive into this content, okay? Why you can't afford to stay stuck, right? And when I'm talking about stuck, what I mean by that is when you are feeling stagnant and you're feeling like your life isn't moving, like your life is on autopilot, like you aren't living your own truth, or you feel like you every day just feels like a struggle, or feels like you're not being who you authentically know yourself to be, and you're not living the life that you truly desire to be living. You feel like maybe you're an imposter or living someone else's life, or you feel like you just aren't really creating the level of well-being in your mind, body, and spirit in the way that you know you can be. That's what I mean by staying stuck, right? And so really the first reason why you can't afford to stay stuck is lost potential, right? So I truly believe that we all come here as divine beings, as divine souls, fractals of source, if you will, with our own inner purpose, right? We have our own purposes, our own divine gifts that we came to incarnate and play with on the planet, and to manifest them into different experiences. And when we choose to stay stuck, what ends up happening is that we create this sort of lost potential, right? Like, let's say that you are, like, if we give an example of an acorn, right? Within each acorn is the potential for it to be an oak tree, right? But what happens in our lives when we choose to stay stuck and do nothing about it, we end up letting that acorn never be planted into the ground, and we never let it flourish, or we never water the acorn or put it in the right environment to allow it to flourish and to create this beautiful oak tree, right? So the first reason is lost potential, okay? The second reason is lack of self-expression. When you feel like you are self-doubting yourself or second-guessing yourself all the time, or you are in this state of perfectionism, like nothing can be done right, or you're afraid to even move because perfectionism is sort of holding you back, right? It creates this lack of self-expression. And so a lot of times this will go into sort of the third one that I wanted to talk about, which is burnout and health issues. But when you stop expressing yourself, you're blocking certain chakras, you're blocking your divine gifts from coming out into the world, you're blocking your ability to show up and be authentic in your life, in whatever area, whether that's in relationships, whether that's in your career, whether that's in business, whatever that is, right? You're not being your true self, true authentic self, and you're stifling your own voice, right? And so that's really the second reason why. And then the third reason is burnout and health issues, right? Like I talked about, when you sort of stifle your voice and you're not listening to your voice, or you're scared to speak up for yourself or stand for your own integrity, it creates burnout and health issues, right? The fourth reason is not living in your truth, right? So how does that differ from lack of self-expression? When I talk about, it's really closely linked to lost potential, right? Like I said in the beginning, I believe all of us have like our own seedling of purpose, our own seedling of greatness lying dormant and inside of us. So it's our job to bring that out into the world. And so when we don't, the fourth reason is not living in your truth, is when you stop living in your truth is your sort of pathway, your own unique blueprint for the gifts, and basically the gifts that you're meant to bring out into the world, right? And so you stop living in alignment with that. And so it creates all this other sort of havoc, just unhappiness, or, this sort of dullness. This definitely shows up a lot, especially with, women who are high achieving. They have careers, maybe, they're making 5-6 figures a year, and they're really struggling with feeling like, God, I've checked all the boxes off, right? And I'm not where I want. Is this all there is? Like, is this it? That will really let you know that you aren't really truly living in your truth, right? So that's really the fourth reason. And the fifth reason is regrets and what ifs, right? So no one wants to go, like one of the main, I can't remember what study it was, but it was some study where it was like a medical type of healing lady would, like, she dealt with a lot of geriatrics and people who were passing away. And she said the number one thing that she kept hearing over and over and over from people who were on their deathbeds was that they wished they had just listened to themselves, right? They wish that they took more chances. They wish that they followed their hearts. They wish that they stopped caring what other people think, right? And so we don't want to get to our deathbeds with a whole bunch of regrets and what ifs, right? The whole reason you want to get unstuck is so that you can start moving and living the life, so that when you are on your deathbed, because we all gonna go, okay? So when you are on your deathbed, you like, I lived a life well lived. I love the life that I lived. I tried everything that I wanted to try. I didn't let fear stop me. I didn't let perfectionism stop me. I didn't let self-doubt stop me. I did what I wanted to do, and I lived a life that I'm very proud of, right? We all want to leave the earth with that level of certainty and fulfillment, right? And so regrets and what ifs is the fifth reason. And then the sixth reason is just lack of fulfillment. Really, you find yourself floundering a lot, right? Like, even if you technically have the good job, I've met so many people who have really good jobs, you know, high paying jobs and stuff like that. And, you know, they've checked all the boxes off of what you're supposed to do in our society, right? You got the good job, got the husband and or the wife, or the nice house and the car and all this stuff, right? And then there's still this level of unhappiness. There's still this level of unfulfillment. What am I doing wrong, right? So you feel this sort of floundering, unfulfilled, like, is this all there is kind of energy all the time, because there is something that's within you that is dormant, wanting to come out, but there's a lot of fear or, you know, uncertainty blocking you from deciding that you're no longer going to stay stuck, right? Okay. And then the seventh reason is that it helps, causes you to perpetuate in unhealthy relationships, right? When you don't like adjust and align your vibration to your highest self, you'll attract sort of low level people. And it's not that they're bad, it's just they're on a lower vibration, and they don't end up supporting you and all your divinity and who you're here to be, right? So you end up perpetually like inviting unwanted relationships into your life, or unwanted ways of communicating with people, because you aren't standing in your own truth, right? So those are really the 7 reasons why you can't afford to stay stuck, right? You don't want to end up on your deathbed in regret and all that good stuff, right? So I'm going to go over the 7 reasons. The first one is lost potential. The second one is lack of self-expression. The third one is burnout and health issues. The fourth one is not living in your truth. The fifth one is regrets and what ifs. The sixth one is floundering and lack of fulfillment. And the seventh one is continuing to perpetuate unhealthy relationships, okay? With new content every week. And just to support you guys in creating more connection with your higher selves and tapping more into your divinity and leading more intentional lives so that you can bring out your divine gifts in your own life, right? And, you know, start that business that you've been wanting to start, or, you know, start that creative project, or switch careers, or, you know, whatever it is that you want to move forward in your life. That is what this channel is going to be dedicated to, helping you to achieve. And if you are looking to get actual physical support in your life, definitely check out, I think, the third link in the description box below. It's divineearthschool.com/call. And you can book a call with me, and we can get on the phone and start talking about how we can actually, you know, move forward and helping you reach your goals and get confident and clear in your own life and or business and or career. Because that's what it's all about, man. You know, like, none of us are always 100% on a high, right? Like, that's not the journey that we came to live, right? Like, and the whole purpose of like coaching and the purpose of personal development is not so that you can leave your problems behind you, right? It's so that you are equipping yourself with a level of consciousness and awareness that when problems, quote unquote, problems or challenges do arrive, you have a level of awareness and fortitude to handle them with so much more grace and ease, right? So when problems arise, it doesn't like knock you off. your feet for like 3 weeks on end and puts you in a state of depression and stuff. Like, you have coping tools and mechanisms and things to actually handle your life. So it's not that, personal development, spirituality and stuff is supposed to eliminate your problems. For some reason, people pursue these things as though it's going to eliminate your problems. And that's just not it. You can't negate divine law. Divine law is that we live in polarity. That's like one of the divine laws of Tahuti, right? Or Hermetic principles, also known as Hermetic principles. So we live in a state of duality. We can't get rid of our problems. That's not what the purpose of personal development and spirituality is. The whole purpose is to elevate your consciousness so all the little ish that really like bothers us or used to bother us no longer bothers us, and you don't get caught up into the humaning aspect of life, if that makes sense. Are you tired of feeling guilty for saying no? Are you ready to take control of your time and energy? Our Become a Boundary Badass toolkit is here to help. This toolkit will teach you how to set clear and effective boundaries in all areas of your life, from work to personal relationships. You'll learn how to communicate your needs and values and how to handle difficult people and situations. With this toolkit, you'll be able to take back control of your life and live with more peace, balance, and fulfillment. Invest in yourself and your happiness today and grab your copy of the Boundary Badass Toolkit.